My name is Sue, and I am the founder, I guess you would say, of Adopt a Soldier. So welcome for coming today. I see some new faces, and I see some familiar faces. So those of you that have been here, done this, bear with us so that we can give all the new people a true idea of what Adopt a Soldier is about. I need to remind everybody, really, it's just reminding myself that Roy Hupke, who is in the back, is going to videotape. He is one of our military dads. I know you'll feel sorry for his son who just got his first duty station in Hawaii. Yeah. Do you tell him his military mom's coming to visit?
Oh, he'd like to see that.
I have two in Hawaii now. And he's also one of our village trustees, and he has been kind enough to videotape all of our ceremonies, so each one of the families will get a copy of it, and so that's pretty special. But I always have to remind myself and everybody out there just to be careful of the camera, which we're not too crowded today, so it's okay, and for me to watch my P's and Q's. Hit it. Okay. Adopt a Soldier was founded 2 years ago, come May, June? May, yeah, 2 years ago, and we are 30-some soldiers strong. I'm not sure of the whole head count anymore. It's I used to be able to pray for all of them at night.
42.
Yeah, oh, you got it? 40, 41, and 42. I used to pray for them all by name at night, and now I'm just like, God bless my adopted kids.
I didn't graduate from Peotone High School.
Escape.
So it started 2 years ago, and I just want to give you a little bit of background of why it started, how it started, and why you're here today, the real reason why you're here today. I am a military mom. I have 4 children in the military. 3 are veterans now, and 1 is still currently in the Air Force. I've been here at the Legion for 4 or 5 years now. I always look at Pat. Pat, stand up. This is Pat, my right-hand man, couldn't do it without her. You know, it's been a while since I've been here, probably 5 years. And the first 2 years, I came to know my veterans, I came to know this place, and now it's home. And one of the things I always say is that I wish I had been here however many years ago that my first child went into the military. Hence brings me to why I created Adopt a Soldier. When my first son went into the military, I killed him. I was a wreck. I cried and sobbed and, you know, did get a lot of sympathy from hubby. I mean, he felt bad or whatever, but it's a man thing maybe. I don't know, guys, you tell me. But it was a difficult time for me. This was right in the beginning. It was actually before we bombed Iraq. So when my son came and said he was joining, I was like, oh, you don't know what this means. We're going to war. You don't know what this means. Yes, I do, Mom. And I'm going. So here's me thinking he's a kid. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's gone. I don't want to watch the TV. It was just a really sad time for me. During this time, I had a lot of my friends that their kids were going off to college. That's a wonderful thing. But when you're a military mom and your kid's going off and you can't talk to them maybe every week or every day, and they could be in harm's way, you want to tell these college parents, you don't have a clue. Sometimes you just want to hit them. I'm going to be honest. I was like, don't even compare yourself to me, because I felt that alone. And not that there wasn't the internet back then, because it was there. My kids will tell you I don't know how to work it, but I've gotten better. But it wasn't the same. I needed to have somebody that was real. So that was something in the back of my mind that made me really feel that there needed to be something where I had a military mom or a military wife or somebody close enough, or a veteran, that I could say, hey, this just was on the news and I don't know where my kid is and I'm a wreck and I don't know what to do, and just have somebody there to hug me or just tell me it's going to be okay. So then that leads me to my son's first deployment. He was shipped to Iraq, Marine Corps, in the very heat of the war. There was no computers, there was no tent cities, there was nothing over there. And I didn't have contact for a long time. Again, needing that support. The hardest thing for me, though, was when he came home. When he came home after his first deployment, we had a basement bedroom, And we had all been getting caught up and whatnot, and said our goodnights, and he went downstairs, and as us moms sometimes do, I was straightening up, and just felt so good to know he was downstairs sleeping, you know? I was just enjoying that to myself until I woke up to screaming and heard him screaming in the basement. And I had gone out to meet him when he got home in San Diego, and the guys had shared some top of the line, you know, the icing of the cake, I guess you could say, stories. So I immediately called one of his buddies, and I said, I don't know what to do. He's downstairs, he's yelling, he's screaming, do I go wake him up? And all those Marines had, by that time, started to call me Mom. He says, Mom, he says, go downstairs, turn on the light, don't go near him, and holler to him from the doorway. That was my son, what do you mean? 6 years later, more than 6 years, he had another deployment, things got a little worse, and we finally realized he had PTSD. I didn't know what to do, didn't know what it was. Tried to get him, encourage him to go to the VA. That wasn't happening. Every time things got bad, he says, I'm going back in, Mom, I'm going back in, which I knew was the last thing he needed to do. But he missed the brotherhood. Fast forward a little more, by the grace of God, I got hired at the American Legion. Started to meet my vets, started to realize what this PTSD was, that this was a new term that has been around probably forever.
Probably since Korea World War II.
Yep. And a problem that's been ignored. So I realized that this might be the place where my son could maybe start to heal. So I kept saying to him, Tony, come into the Legion, you know, just come down, you don't have to talk to the guys, just come have a beer or whatever. No, Mama, I'm fine. When he really wasn't. He finally came in one day, and there was a couple of my non-vets there. And for the first time in, I say 6 years maybe, 7 years, I saw his whole body language relax. I hadn't seen that since he had come home. And I'm not saying he was all better, but what I did realize that day, that he was amongst his brothers again. The whole reason for I want to join again, I want to go back, wasn't about being active duty. It wasn't about going to war. It wasn't about any of that. It was about being with his brothers and people that understood without him saying a damn darn word. So we've got reason number one, Mom needed support. Reason number two, realized that not only is my son the only one, he's not the only one out there that needs help, but, so that was reason number two. And then I realized that not only did my son need help, but we have some veterans that go way back that have been ignored. PTSD isn't a real thing. VA says, here, take these pills. Not that I'm knocking the VA, I'm not knocking the meds, but it's not enough. And when I realized that this place represented something more than the VA could give, that it was home, that it was a place where these young soldiers, Marines, Navy men, whatever, can come and, I was going to say something, you know, talk and, you know, shoot the, you know, and just share with these vets, I realized that, you know, we were onto something here. When I saw some of my guys that had been suffering with PTSD for 40 plus years, finally embrace it. Embrace it and say, yeah, it's okay. I realized that a Dr. Soldier needed to happen. And what I thought at that time was something for me has turned out to tenfold not only helped our other military families, has helped our soldiers, but more importantly has helped our veterans. And I think you'll see a little bit of that today. So without further ado, we'll get this show on the road. We've got a couple people that are going to give some certificates of appreciation and whatnot, so we're going to start with those, and then we'll go into the actual adopted soldier coins and that kind of stuff. So, gentlemen from SAL, are you both coming up?
Better call the boys.
We get blessed with both of them. I need to have Robert, Kyle, and Logan come up here for a minute. Well, not a minute, you're going to be up here for a little bit.
last year was mine.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there you go. Do you need the mic or no? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, okay, I am the only one with a big mouth. All right. Go ahead there, gentlemen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ed Cavanaugh. I'm the State Commander for the Sons of the American Legion. It's always a great pleasure for us to attend one of these functions so we can show our appreciation for the dedication that these young men are showing for our country and to present these certificates of honor. I have 3 of them, one for each, but I'm going to read just one. Sons of the American Legion, Detachment of Illinois, Certificate of Honor. This certificate is presented to honor Petty Officer Logan Kinstner in recognition and grateful appreciation for serving in the United States Armed Forces in the name of freedom and democracy, and for allegiance to God and country, in courteously protecting our liberty and independence. Presented by the Detachment of Illinois on this 27th day of April, 2014, and signed by myself as State Commander. So I'm going to present one of these to each of you gentlemen. Which one is Petty Officer? There you go. This is Kaya. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
All right. Let's give a round for our guys. We haven't done that. All right. Now, next we have, I got to tell you, not only has the Legion itself been supportive, but this community, our community here in Peotone. And so the mayor of Peotone, Mayor Duran, is going to come up and wants to also show the community support for you gentlemen.
Gentlemen, first of all, thank you for your service. Not only that you have given so far, but what you are about to give, actually for the rest of your life. The Village of Peotone likes to honor those in our community who provide service to the community and our nation. And one of the ways we do it is by presenting people a blue village pin. Now, you can go into the village hall and buy a pin, but it's got a white background. The only way to get a village pin that has a blue background is for doing service to our community and our country. And so we would like to recognize the service that you give and also present to each of you an official village pin that happens to have a light at the end of it. You never know if you're going to need a light and you got one. In addition to a pin to write with. The certificate reads, for your outstanding contribution to our country and the community, and it's got your name and it is signed by me, the clerk of the village, with our appreciation. And so, one more thing. Everybody needs to have a home. This Legion Post is your home. The Village of Peotone is your home. No matter where you go, for your whole life. We're here for you. We appreciate what you do, and you're always welcome here. So, Kyle, congratulations. And Logan, congratulations, Logan. And Robert. Oh. Congratulations.
All right, while I have you boys up here, one of the things that we're gonna, I don't have anything else, right? Okay. One of the things that you're gonna get today is a coin, and then we have a story that Alan talked to you a little bit about in the office about a cross. What I wanna take a minute to say to you, and I didn't wanna do it with you in the audience, I wanted you up here with me. is that when I was talking about it, starting Adopt a Soldier and PTSD and all these things, you know, as moms, we want to cuddle you, we want to think everything's going to be fine, but it's real. You know, you're going to do men's jobs, you're going out to fight for our country, and knowing, like the mayor said, that this is home and the support is here for you is very important for you to know. You know, God will protect you, I know that, but things happen. And so part of what you're going to witness today, and you saw a little bit of it in the office, we had a private meeting with one of my vets, is you're going to see a lot of emotion today. That emotion is real, and I want you to look at these vets and know that these guys walked your walk, that you're starting on right now, and they have been brave enough now to embrace their life as a soldier, a Marine, whatever their background may be, and are strong enough to face the demons that they have today. So I want you to understand where this emotion comes from, and that it's real, and that I really believe people, you know, not to scare you moms, but this is reality. The suicide rate in our young men and women getting out of the military is rising. The only way to stop that is to acknowledge, to embrace, and to know that war is ugly. That when these kids come home, and I call you kids, I'll call you kids till I'm 102 and you're whatever, is important. And that they know that these legions are here. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say this outward. They're not going to be here. The legions, the VFW, all of these places that these young men are going to need, because you will, even if it's for you to come to the next young man. You know, Nick may be there for you, okay, part of the brotherhood, your brothers, but now you have a larger expanded brotherhood, as Alan was telling you. And without the legions and the VFWs in this world, these kids are going to have no place to go. If my son hadn't had this place to go, I don't know where he'd be today. He had one of his guys he served with, he just found out maybe 6 months ago, not only killed himself, but killed his girlfriend. That could have been my son without the Legion. As a mom, I could only do so much. He needed brothers. So I want you to really embrace what you see and what you hear today, and I'm trying to understand it, and keep it in your file in the back of your mind so that you know there's no such thing as being too proud. You're serving our country. We are so proud of you no matter what you do, what you see, what happens, that this is home and that you belong here, you can come here. If you're not stationed in this area and you're still stationed, you can go to any legion around and there will be brothers there. You need to remember that. And same with the families. You need to know that, you know, whether you live in Peotone or whatever, the people that you meet today, the people that you start to get involved with us, we're here for you. We're here for you day or night, whatever silly thing you think, okay, we're here, and it's important. There's ways for you to get involved, not just with Adopt a Soldier, but the gentlemen, Sons of American Legion, we just started one. Maybe your dad isn't a military background, maybe your grandpa was. You can join the Sons of American Legion and participate in Legion. We have the auxiliary. We have all kinds of ways for you guys to help keep these places alive so that not only these three, but the many more to follow can have a place to call home. And I think that's really, really important. So without taking any more time, let's get this road going. We're going to present you with your coins first. So I need Pidge. I need Nick. Let's welcome Nick home. He graduated. Way you want, honey. He's shipping off for South Korea. Mom will be needing some help because it's not the greatest place to be right now, I don't think. But we got you. We got your back. Nick's brother Kyle. So we got 2 in 1 family. Yeah, just move that back. I thought it was underneath the mic, but I don't. Oh, here's the points.
Be nice to him.
All right. I'm going to have Dennis real quick. Dennis was kind enough to make these. He has 3 boys.
And a daughter-in-law.
And a daughter-in-law.
All active duty right now.
All active duty right now. And we give these coins out, and the boys have gotten a lot of coins today, and they'll continue to get coins. But he made these holders for the American Legion coin here. And you guys will also be getting another coin from us that we just are having made, which is conducive to Adopt a Soldier, with the Adopt a Soldier logo on one side and the Legion on the other. So that's the one you can keep in your pocket. So Dennis, why don't I let you give that to the boys and then.
This is from fact, because my 4 kids that are all active duty right now. I don't want these things sitting in the drawer, under your underwear, under your socks. These are important. Right now, it doesn't seem like much. But when you read this little note with it, you'll understand later. I want you guys to have this where it will remind you. Because it's really important. I feel like I got 3 more sons.
Yeah, yeah. And Denny's also a veteran.
Unfortunately, I'm a Vietnam veteran. I'm a little older than them by twice, maybe 3 times. But Pidge can tell you, we've known each other how long now, Pidge? 20 plus?
1982, my friend.
Yep. And old Bobby Kruger, the grouper back there, I've known him just as long. We all worked together out of 928 out of O'Hare. I thought Vietnam was bad. Unfortunately, I was one of the guys on duty when American Airlines Flight 191 crashed. Vietnam was bad, but that was worse. And if you think PTSD is bad from military, you should see it after you've been in a fire. I've got a double dose.
And that's why we're here for you.
Yeah.
Thank
A
you.
sneak away. Guys, take care. Have fun. And you be proud of my daughter-in-law right now. When you see the ceremonial guard out, she's carrying the ensign and the color guard. She carries the battle flag in the color guard. So she gets to lead everything. And her job is 24/7. Not because of the military, she's on call 24/7. And her husband was on the rifle drill team for the ceremonial guard. Now he's a combat medic in Annapolis.
God bless.
Yeah, he's got
Hey,
an
make
awful
some
lot of
fun.
stories. We're getting his, if we could ever get all his kids home.
We can talk to her on
Okay, the points that we have today represent, and each one of our vets will kind of give their own little spiel. But the coins that they're getting is a representation that wherever you go, wherever you are, that there's support here for you at home, at this Legion, at any Legion you go to, and the guys will each tell you that. They're also used for, they're called challenge coins. Last month I got caught. I'm not gonna
Did you
get
have to
caught
do
today.
push-ups?
When you come home, now who's 21? When you come home, you tap it on the bar and you'll get a free pop. Okay? And then when you turn 21, we have our shot, midnight tonight, oh, okay. Yep. The liquor commissioner's here. Don't talk. We'll stay open later. When you come home, this shot glass was given by Michael, one of my very first adopted kids, who's not a kid. He's not here today, but you'll have to do our shot out of our shot glass. So you can tell Anna Marie gave it to me. Right? Our head has to be at the top. I can say that I'm a Marine Corps mom. All right, without further, let's go. Semper Fi. Where's the, yeah, there we go. All right, Pidge.
Is Wally here yet?
Okay, let's hold off. We're waiting for a parent. All right, Vic, go ahead.
Logan, you're the Navy guy, right? Yes. I heard you went to nuclear power school. I also heard a rumor that you want to be a skimmer. You want to go on an aircraft carrier. Yes. Instead of submarines. Are there any submariners here? Are there any aircraft carrier sailors here?
We'll have to get some more.
You need to change your mind. Not only do I have the coin from American Legion for you, also I have a couple of magazines here. It's called The American Submariner. I want you to read this page, front to back.
The girls on that?
I made him take a
Look in the
centerfold out. He's looking for it. What's that?
Yes. Where's your mom? Okay, come on up here, Mom.
Oh, no.
Down just a little bit.
Yeah. There we go.
Also, we want to present you with a cross that has a flag emblems on it. So when you look at that, you'll know that where he is. And excuse me, you can look at the coin and you can know where your mom is. Okay? All right. Thank you for your service. Thank you for the birth of your son.
That couldn't hear, he said he's proud of him.
Any word?
Go ahead.
We're close? I know.
He's stalled as long as we could get Alan up here. Alan stalls a long time. Okay. You guys gotta stay in the same spot. You can stand right there, okay? I'm right here.
I'll try to do the best I can. My name is Pidge. I'm retired Air Force. Kruger, Climax Marine. Life is good. So, I'm not here to talk about myself. I'm blessed. I've done one pointing before. They said it was good. I said, well, okay. I wish I remember what I said. It's kind of like making spaghetti sauce. I try to make it a little different. I'm making the same, but I always try to do it different. Anyway, it's not about me. It's about the young man here. 20 years old, pre-boarding graduate. Right? Grew up in Jessica, mom is Annie, stepfather was Warren, we have three boys. David, Allison, and Joshua. They went off for 4 years as a boatsman mate in the United States Navy. Fellow time at Great Lakes, is that right? Yes, sir. And then off the shore, right? So here you go. Everything's good, right? Life is good. What kind of children here? What do you
Make that change today.
everything changes. Enjoy it between now and then. Because nothing's going to make sense to you when they finish. Okay? Everything changes. Enjoy your clothes. Mustangs, enjoy your beard. It all changes. And you will think to yourself, why, God, did I sign up for this? But here I am. I'm going to post it. What did I do? What do you do?
Sitting on a boat.
First of all, but the thing is, be awesome because you know everything's in accordance with IAEA, in accordance with they tell you a policy for it. It makes no sense. But when you're in charge of an F-16 aircraft and they tell you to turn that nut on that bolt, 32 7/8 of a turn, they don't mean until it's tight. They mean until it's 32 7/8 of a turn. So you're going to walk into that place and you walk in with this pompous attitude because you're from the south side of Chicago and this and that. All of a sudden, I guarantee you, remember this little talk, these things change. And all of a sudden, which makes no sense to you at the time now, will make sense to you then. Hopefully it makes sense to you 20 years from now. But you'll come back an accomplished person and a tremendous. You can walk any place you want, and your chest is huge, isn't that? Because you served and you were part of this. Look at our Nick back here. I mean, my God.
You should have started him seeing them.
Look here, look at all the veterans in this room. We still carry ourselves well because what you've done. And God bless you, kid. Your mom will be there for you. My girlfriend knows the kids, we know Andy. Life's good. You're not gonna like me, it's this. But it's all in accordance with the plan. Okay? And all of a sudden, you can get down there and okay, without further ado. I'm getting close.
Okay. Our veterans. Can I have all our veterans stand up? I can't wait a minute longer. Welcome home. If you didn't get it then, we're saying it now. Thank you. Come on, bud. Yeah. This man here, oh, the stories I could tell. There you go. Alan Block, Vietnam veteran. Post member, post 392, right here. As I'm going to share with you, and I remind you to think about what we said just a little bit ago, what I was talking about. Has embraced life, has embraced pretty good, right? PTSD, embracing it.
Yep.
My very first coining, I had a cross that when my son went off to Iraq, I gave him a cross. And the very first coin, I thought, do I do this? You know, everybody's so funny about that kind of stuff. And I thought, you know what? No, I'm doing it. And then I met this guy, and we sat in his garage over a few pops. And
That's before I start drinking.
I was a beer baby. He told me his story and shared the story he's going to share with you. And I knew right then and there that God was sending him to me, not only for adopted soldier and all of the vets that they sent to me, but saying yes to the cross is important. So I'm going to let Alan share with you with the mic, because sometimes we can't hear you. Oh, now he's going to be like, wow. All right. Not checking your pockets in front of everybody. There you go.
As Sue said, we got together and I've been with this ever since. So many people have heard this. But when I landed in Vietnam in early 1969 at Benoit Air Force Base, the airport was under attack. They brought the plane down. There was 174 men on the plane. We had our helmets and Kevlar, but all our weapons that we trained with were in the belly of the plane. So they put a gangplank up there. We come down the gangplank, and at the bottom of the gangplank, there was a Marine Corps chaplain with a baseball cap on. You could hear small arms fire flying everywhere. And I was thinking, man, this guy thinks he's at a church picnic. But we come down the gangplank, and he asked us, and he gave me this cross, this emperor, this cross, and this is the original one. Never been untied. I wore it the whole time I was there, and still have. And he just said, God bless you, son, and your country, and bless yourself. And that was it. And then they gave us an M16 and 500 rounds of ammo. So like I said, I wore this, and I seen almost, not every day, but people die on both sides of me or wounded. But I came home. There's a graze wound, and the cross is not anything to do with religion, and I don't think he meant that. It just, he said, just bless God, have faith in God, your country, and yourself, and you'll be fine. So I figured it must work, not thinking it's anything magical, but I did give it to two of my nephews that both went to one Afghanistan and Kuwait, one Afghanistan, or Iraq and Kuwait, one Iraq and Afghanistan, and they brought it back to me. I gave it to one nephew that had an illness. I let him borrow it, and he brought it back. Gave it to my 84-year-old father-in-law. He put a father-in-law that had a quadruple bypass at 84 years old, and they didn't know what was going to happen. And he gave it back to me. They borrowed it again, and he's still here. So I know there's nothing magical, and I don't mean this to be any kind of religious thing. This just works for to have faith in yourself, your country, and God, and you'll be fine. So these young men here are going to receive a cross, and I'll talk to each one of them and give them their cross. Then I have something else, as soon as I always do. Robert, you do this cross to wear, and you have faith in God, your country, and yourself, and you'll be protected. Okay, I want to give you this cross. For you to have faith in God, your country, and yourself, and it will protect you. Logan, I give you this cross. Have faith in yourself, God, and your country, and it will protect you. All right, now to the next part. All right. I'd like to have all three mothers come up here. This is their chance. Remember when they were younger and they were holding their babies, these three young men, and they'd have them there and the baby reach up, rip the necklace right off them? Well, now it's payback time. All right, Robert, stand sideways here. I want you, the reason I'm doing this is these young men cannot wear anything that's not military during the training. So what I'm going to do, have them pin the crosses on their mothers to protect it until they get out of the training for the mother to give it back to them. Robert? You swear to protect that till it comes home? How? And Robert. You swear to protect that cross. You swear to protect that cross till he comes back. All right, I'm gonna have them stand there for a little bit. Track mine. It is part of the ceremony that I'm gonna do here pretty soon when I send the mothers back, is a band of brothers which I want to initiate them in the Band of Brothers. And there's also a generation of freedom. We've had World War II, we don't have any World War I vets. World War II, Korea, Vietnam, which I'm partial to, is, and Afghanistan, Desert Storm, and Iraq. But those men protected this country as to give us our home of freedom and protection for freedom. Like in Vietnam, because I'm partial, 58,000 young men and women gave their life for their country. And these young men, ladies and gentlemen, and it's volunteer military now, are our next generation of freedom. Well, I'm not done yet. I have one more thing that I was going to try to do, but I read it this afternoon and at home couldn't do it. So the mayor is going to do it for me.
All right. Alan asked me to read this to you. It's in reference to Memorial Day, when we honor more than 1 million men and women who lost their lives defending America in the wars from the Revolution to the global war on terrorism, including people like Marine Sergeant William Stacy, who was on his 4th deployment in Afghanistan when he was killed by an IED blast while walking patrol in Helmand Province on January 23rd, 2012. Like many who go to war, Stacy left a letter behind just in case something happened to him. And this is his letter. My death did not change the world. It may be tough for you to justify its meaning at all, but there is a great meaning to it. Perhaps I did not change the world, but there will be a child who will live because men left the security they enjoyed in their home country to come to his. And this child will learn in the new schools that have been built. He will walk his streets not worried about whether or not his leader's henchmen are going to come and kidnap him. He will grow up to a fine man who will pursue every opportunity that his heart could desire. He will have the gift of freedom, which I have enjoyed for so long. If my life buys the safety of a child who will one day change the world, then I know it was all worth it.
Thank you, brother. You can sit down now. And to conclude, you probably didn't think that. I'm not going to initiate these young men in this Band of Brothers, which there was one from World War II, and it has just grown, and I'm a big advocate of it, is there's an oath, is you protect and swear to protect your country, your family, friends, and your brothers, no matter what. So welcome to the Band of Brothers. That's brotherhood, that's love. Brotherhood, love. Brotherhood, love. Ladies and gentlemen,
Now I think it's probably picture. Where's all our suicide numbers? Veterans come up.
Yeah, we're going to ask all of our veterans to come up and welcome these young men into the Brotherhood and our Legion. I just want you boys to know that I personally take responsibility. What you just went through, moms, emotional, you are now going to focus on your missions at hand. Your worry is no longer what's happening at home. I give you my word, Pat, and everybody that has an adopted soldier, everybody that's here gives their word to take care of your mom and your family while you're away so that you can focus on your mission. So remember that. All right? All right, veterans, come on up. Welcome these young men. That's for Daddy's answer. I didn't get the memo. All right, I think I have all my veterans. Nobody's hiding. Sometimes they hide from me. All right. This concludes. We're going to keep the guys up here. We want to get a few pictures. Family, take your pictures. I usually have the soldiers go first, and maybe everybody. When I named it Adopt a Soldier, my 2 Marines, I thought they were soldiers, just generals, so don't take offense. I'm going to let everybody go ahead and start eating, and then when picture's done, the kids will go through. So let's have a round of applause for our vets. Let's chow time. Come up a little bit. Circle our boys here. Alright, you by your brother. Get out of town. Oh, that's one hell of a military mom there. Alright. We might need a few on the floor, yeah. That might have been kids, why don't we get you up here with Robert? Yeah, kneel down, baby. How's that looking? And a little bit more. And just a little bit Jan. Great for me, Karen, again with my boys. What they're good. Okay, getting with my boys. Now, please. Alright, Karen is with the neighbor. She's gonna hook up with family, so. Alright, Logan and Robert and Kyle, we're gonna give your family a picture. Yeah, I'm like, no. Okay? Yeah.